Hey Taurus, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Taurus. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. Okay, that's really nice energy. That's really nice energy. I think that this person, when they're talking about you to their friends or to their family members, they think that you two are very well matched, perfectly matched, maybe evenly matched, and they discuss this with their friends. They bring this up a lot, like how perfect the two of you are for each other. So this could mean a couple of different things. This could mean that the two of you have a lot of similarities, that you have a lot of common interests, that your goals in life align, that you're looking for the same things in a relationship. It could be something like that. Or you have the same sense of humor, or you really get along well. It could also mean that you complement each other's differences very well and that you balance each other out. So it will be different for everyone, but I think that this person, when they discuss you with their friends, they talk about things that are really specific to you, like characteristics that you have that they like for one reason or another. And that, again, can be because it's very similar to them and they're happy to have met someone who has so many shared interests and who sees the world the way that they do. And it can also be that they're pointing out to their friends a lot, like, you know, I always needed somebody who could balance me out in this way. You know, let's say I tend to fly off the handle really easily, and this person is very calm, and it brings me a really calm, serene energy, and like, I just do so much better being in their presence, something like that. It could be areas where your differences really stand out to this person, and they really appreciate it. So it feels like they are focused on what you have to offer them and what they have to offer you in return, what the two of you give to each other, what both of you pour into this connection. These are the things that they're talking to their friends about when it comes to this. Now, for some of you, I'm picking up on that you might have given this person a gift, an actual physical gift. And if that's the case, they're always bragging about this when they're with their friends. It's like if someone says, like, just for example, if somebody's like, oh, that's a nice hat, they're like, oh yeah, thanks, my bae got it for me. Or like this necklace, yeah, you know, that person gave it to me, whoever, you know, he or she gave me this. They will bring things up, or take the opportunity if someone else points it out. They take the opportunity to like bring you up in conversation, to draw attention to the fact that like you thought of them, that you were feeling them enough to like give them something. They like to acknowledge everything you've done for them, and they stay in a state of gratitude for all that you've given them, whether that is a physical gift or an emotional gift, or it could even be like a mental thing. If it's some sort of stability that you've brought to their life, they're constantly bringing these things up in conversation, like saying, yeah, they helped me see things this way, or they facilitated this thing in my life, or they helped me out in this way, they made this easier for me, things like that. They like to acknowledge you and what you have given them. I feel like if you're in a connection where you don't feel like that acknowledgement is like as present as you would like it to be, this is kind of helpful for you, because I think this person might be someone who doesn't say these things right to you, but they will say it like when you're not there. Like, I wouldn't say they'll say it behind your back, but of course not in a bad way. They are very complimentary when they're talking about you with others. So they might not give you the praise that you would like, or the validation or recognition that you would like to your face, but when they are with their friends, they can't help but talk about you. They can't help but brag about just even the fact, I think what they're really doing is they're bragging about the fact that you are interested in them. So any way that they have of being able to show that, being able to prove that, they like bringing that up in conversation. They feel proud. They feel really proud to be with you, to have your attention, to have your love. I feel like the two of you have done a lot for each other. So this is definitely something that is reciprocated. I think that you've been instrumental in one another's growth and development on your individual soul journey. So it's funny, as I'm saying this, there's almost kind of like a heaviness to that. So in some ways, it might be that something about this connection is really bittersweet. Like one or both of you thinks a lot about the fact that even if this connection were to end, the gifts that you've gained, the new perspective, the deep emotional bond that you formed, it's like whatever you've gained from this, it will stay with you for a lifetime. So that is, yeah, there's a real bittersweetness coming from that. It's a nice thing to realize in a way, but it does kind of give me the feeling that this might be something that that has fallen apart, or that's in some form of separation right now. Not for everyone, I don't think. We'll look at your cards, but it might be that you have actually, one or both of you has actually had to come to this realization, like, this was so beautiful, I gained so much from this, and that all of that will stay with me for a lifetime. So for some of you, this person is talking to their friends about how much they miss you, about how special the connection was, but it's like, I get the feeling that they're talking about it as if it's a past tense situation, something that has already run its course, and they talk about how, like, they'll never be the same again. Like, they've been changed and they've gained so much, and that they wish that they had you in their life right at the present moment, but they don't. So if you are in separation from this person, you're coming up in conversation still. You're on their mind still. And it feels like this is something that they talk with their friends about a lot, even if they're not talking to you, even if there's space and distance there. So we'll look, and I think for some of you that is not the case, but yeah, I am picking up on this feeling of like potential separation here. Let's look at some more of your oracle cards. Oh, okay, we have standstill. So that might be that energy. Something may have kind of just I want to look at the rest of your cards, but you know what? With this card, it's like there's something stagnant about the relationship. Something has come to a pause, because standstill doesn't make me think stop. It makes me think that the energy's not moving, the energy's not flowing. Something's kind of holding the connection back. So let's see. We have change. And we have courage. Oh, okay. Your person feels like this connection isn't moving forward the way that they wish it would. And that's where these conversations with their friends are going. It could be that they have withdrawn, or you have withdrawn, or maybe at this point, it's really both of you that's pulling back. But they talk about wanting to make progress with their friends. That's kind of like how the conversation goes. They're trying to, they're reminiscing a lot. They reminisce about the connection a lot, and they're trying to figure out kind of which which way they can go with this, what they can do, what needs to change, and how they can find a way to make that change. But they talk about wanting to make progress, wanting to change things, wanting to fix things, wishing things could be different than they are. Yeah. If you are not in contact with this person, or you're not in communication, like the communication has dried up, this is going to sound rude, but this is the way that it's coming through, so I'm just going to say it. It's almost like they're whining to their friends. And I'm not saying that because like their friends are taking it as whining. Well, maybe I am. Maybe it is that. I'm not sure, because I don't know why it's coming through like that, but it's almost like they're whining about missing you. They're whining about wanting to connect with you, wanting to talk to you, wanting to do something to change this. This might be coming through as whining because maybe they have said the same thing over and over and over again to their friends, and their friends are like, then do something about it. You know, like, that might be what it is. It's not that their friends aren't supportive, but it just might be that they're not like taking the appropriate action, because we have this standstill card. So it's like things are at a standstill, things are not progressing, and they might be getting a lot of encouragement to actually do something to change the situation. There's part of them that's really fearful and that knows that they need to summon up the courage to do what it takes to bring the energy back in and to bring the momentum back in. Yeah. This person might have messed up in some way. For some of you, this person is like at fault for something. And if you feel like they're at fault, if you felt that way and you're like waiting for an apology or something, they know that they were wrong. And they talk about that with their friends, like how much they messed up. So it feels like there's a sense of regret, and like they just want to do everything that they can to make things right, or to be able to give you what you deserve is another way that this is coming through. So for some of you, if whatever they didn't actually like destroy the entire relationship, but it's kind of put you in an emotional chokehold. That's weird. I'm just hearing chokehold. If this standstill is more one of emotion, like if you're in an emotional standstill with this person where it's like you just can't get to that next level because something happened that is kind of creating a barrier between the two of you, it's like they know this. They're aware of what they did, and they're trying to get to a place where they can give you what you deserve, where they can give you what they should have given you from the beginning. They're trying to figure out how to get to that place. It just feels like there is something about them that needs to change before they're able to do this. There's something that they need to overcome with this courage card. There's something that they have to overcome. There's something, like, it's not that easy for them to change. And when they're talking about this to their friends, that's part of the issue. Like, that's part of why it's coming across as whining, because it's like, it's not that easy for them to change. But to everyone around them, I think it looks like, well, then just do it, you know, just change, just say this, just apologize, just call, you know, take some sort of action. But there's something about the scenario that makes it not that simple for them. It's not that easy. I feel like this person is very upfront about their feelings for you when they're talking to their friends or to their family. So there's really no question about how they feel. It's like everyone knows, like everyone is well aware of how they feel about you, or at least they can pick up on it. Like they can pick up on something is on their mind, something is bothering them. But I feel like they have been pretty straightforward about it. And just letting everyone know how they feel, or letting everyone know that, I think for some of you, this person's really depressed. I kind of hate to see this because it feels like the energy that I'm picking up on, for a lot of you, this really is something that's in separation. And I feel like if you're here, you really care for this person and you care for this connection, and they do too. And this could be something that has really pushed them into kind of a dark depression about this issue, or about how to change this. And it's just sad because it feels almost like it wouldn't necessarily be that hard if they would take the action. And like, the two of you are so aware of the importance of this, and they especially are so aware of all of the gifts that you've given them, like everything that you've done for them, and every way that this connection is so significant to them. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that if they're not taking this action, it's interesting that they are not. I think that they've developed a lot of anxiety. And that really is a lot to do with why this is so hard for them to like take the action that they need to take, because I think in the process of being at this standstill, the whole situation has sort of blown out of proportion in their minds. It's become really big, and it's become very daunting, and it's become something that they will need a lot of courage to overcome. But I think they're also really desperate for this change. So that shows something there. That shows the desire to make the change. It's like, I don't think they're going to be able to move on from this. Let's look at your tarot cards. We have the King of Cups, the Magician, oh my goodness, the King of Swords, and the Page of Cups. I am reading this as this person coming through as the king in both scenarios. This isn't you. I don't think this is you coming through here. This is them. So this is, I think what's happening here is that they're discussing this connection, and they're discussing you and the depth of this connection in just with so much feeling, with so much emotion. They're coming through with these grand feelings and these grand gestures that they want to offer you, but they're saying it to their friends. They're not saying it to you. There's so much power behind it, though. This is why I think that the people that they're discussing this with can even become frustrated with them, because they're coming through as someone who is so emotional, who is so who's so ready. I think, like, with this being the King of Cups and the King of Swords, this is being emotionally ready for this, being emotionally secure and stable, and also being ready to communicate about this, being ready to put it all out there and be clear about their feelings, but then they chicken out and they don't do it. So I think that that's what's frustrating for those around them, is that they can see that this person has developed all of this maturity around this, and they're trying to grow so much, and they have such strong feelings, and they have this big vision, but then at the same time they're not stepping forward with you about all of this. If you are not in separation from this person, I can see this that way as well. I can see that this person might be expressing a lot more to their friends than they are to you, and that this could be frustrating, even in a connection that's not like lacking in physical proximity or in the communication. It's just like the feelings are so big, and the maturity and the thought behind all of this is so big, and I think the action is not quite as big so far. But with the Magician coming out here, it's like I can see their intention here, and what they want to do is they want to change this. They want to come forward with the courage to change it. The funny part is every single court card that came out, which is 3 out of the 4, these can be read as people. So it wouldn't be surprising if one of these people was you, but it's just funny because I'm not reading it that way. I don't think that any of this is you. I think this is this person and all of the various feelings that they have, or the feelings that they have versus the action that they take. Because this Page of Cups, the page is, of course, kind of emotionally immature in a way. They're at the beginning. So it's like, when confronted with the actual idea of sharing this stuff with you, they turn into the page. But behind the scenes, they're the king. They're ready to offer something. They're ready for a grand gesture. They're ready for stability, maturity, and like real acceptance of the importance of this connection. And they're kind of in transition. So they will shrink back into this immature page energy a lot of the time. But there is a desire here for them. It's like they know they have everything that it takes. They're well aware of that. They see themselves as the magician too, which is promising to me, because when you see yourself as the magician, you see yourself as someone who is in control, someone who is capable, someone who has all of the tools at their fingertips, at their disposal. And that's how they see themselves as well. They know they can change it. That's part of what makes this hard. If they screwed something up, they know they did it. They know that they have the power to change it. They know that they're the only ones who have the power to change it. They know that it can't be something that you do that fixes this. They have to. Which is like daunting. It's daunting to them. So let's look at your Romance Angel card, and then we will talk about your original card and see if it like ties into the way the rest of the reading went. So let's look at this last card. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yes. Okay. Yes. This person knows that they have to do it. They know that they're the ones that have to change. And I think that a lot of the advice that they get from their friends is that too. Like I was saying earlier, like they can almost become frustrated with them because they're like, do something then. So make the effort is very appropriate here. They are guiding and encouraging this person to reach out or to make the change that's necessary so that this can be everything that they want it to be, everything they know it can be. So let's look at the original card before we wrap up your reading. You were drawn to the Venus card, and this card says, Beloved. Venus is all about the heart. It's about romance. It's about creativity, creating something. It's about really focusing on what attracts you and what you value. So that kind of says it all here, and it almost is what we were talking about with this exchanging gifts card. They know how much value you've brought to their life. They feel very drawn to you, very attracted to you. They want to create something with you. They want to build a life with you, and they know that they have to change some things in order to do that. But there's a lot of romance here, and there's a lot of talks of romantic gestures that I think they share with their friends. Whether or not they act on any of this, I'm not really sure. The Page of Cups, this could be somebody who does act on it, but maybe it doesn't quite go how they plan. But it could also be someone who shies away and who just like, I think this person's struggling to show up as the King of Cups. They will shrink back into this Page of Cups role really easily. But there's a lot of emotion here. There's a lot of love here. And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of regret too, because they value this, because they know they value it, because they know all that this means to them. And I think they share a lot of that with their friends. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave your reading there. Right as I'm about to wrap up, I just am drawn to this change card right in the center of your reading. And I think that whatever the necessary change is that you need to see in this relationship, I think that is, it's very central to the entire issue or the entire connection. And I think it's a change that you are going to see. I just got a wave of optimistic energy here just looking at this King of Cups, the Change card, and the Magician. This person is going through something. They're working on making these necessary changes, but I think that it is on their mind. It is it's like it's central, just like it is to this reading. It's kind of central to their their whole thought process right now. And this is really, it's like they have it in their sights. So it's I think it's a little bit encouraging for those of you who are at a standstill when it comes to this connection. So yeah, I'm going to leave your reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you liked this video, if any of it resonated, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button so that you will see my next video and come hang out with me again. So yeah, I will see you again really soon. Bye.